There it goes. You'll see that note on your screen. Okay. Yeah, looks like everything is good to go here. All right.
Is there a name for the little shoot admin? Or do we need a name?
Oh, did I not? Oh, I did. Okay. Yes. Bouncing around here. So for little shoot admin, do I have is that Bu Bernhoff? I saw that name before. I just deleting it by accident. There we go. Oh, somebody else. No, someone else. Oh, no. Okay, great. All right, well, let's get started. Someone else joins us. We'll just deal with them later. But all right, looks like everything's good to go. So let's get on the record. And this is docket 9300 SI 126, the complaint of the city of Kaukauna against Heart of the Valley Metropolitan Sewerage District concerning sewer rates. And I'm going to have a lot of fun saying Heart of the Valley in this proceeding, I think, like that name. So let's get started first with, well, let me just say we're here for the pre-hearing conference. For those of you familiar with the process, we're looking to make sure we've identified all the parties, the issues, schedule, and facilitating matters set to facilitate the creation of the record. Just so you know, I'm Michael Newmark, the Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. And we do have, well, we'll do appearances, but we do have commission staff and the parties in attendance. We've invited the public to observe the pre-hearing conference over Zoom, but we have no one connected in that capacity that I see here. So let's, before we continue, just get our notice. So I'll get our appearances noticed. I'll just do it alphabetically according to our service list. Excuse me. So who do we have for appearing for City of Kaukauna?
Good morning. We have attorney Jared Walker-Smith and attorney Lori Kubsa appearing on behalf of City of Kaukauna.
Okay. And for Heart of the Valley?
Chris Nelson appearing for Heart of the Valley.
All right. PSC?
Zachary Peters on behalf of the PSC.
Okay. And Village of Kimberly?
Charles Kaler.
And Village of Little Chute?
Charles Kaler.
All right. Great. Thanks. Okay. We've gotten through that formality. Thanks everyone for joining us. So I scroll down. I can leave the notice of pre-hearing conference on the screen share because it will kind of go through our list of tasks here for today. First of all, just identifying the parties, make sure we have that correct. Complainants, the city of Kaukauna, respondent Heart of the Valley. Interveners, we've admitted Kimberly and Little Chute. There were no objections to that, and I don't see anyone else here knocking on the door to get in the case, so that's our parties. For the issues, now I am aware that there may be some objection to the way those are worded. So just so everyone, so we are clear for the record, the notice, well, parties got the notice pre-hearing conference, of course, so they've all reviewed that. And we're instructed to meet and confer by yesterday to discuss any objections or any issues with what's being proposed. And so we have on the written document, what were the objections to that to those proposed issues?
Well, Your Honor, the objections were made by Heart of the Valley, and I notified PFC's representatives and City of Kaukauna's representatives of our objections yesterday. each of these issues as phrased contains a disputed fact. And I would submit that it's inappropriate to contain a disputed fact in the framing of issues. And specifically, issues A and B are simply a single issue that can be neutrally stated as whether, pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 66.0821, parent 5, Heart of the Valley's volumetric rate is unreasonable and unjustly discriminatory as applied to Kaukauna. A and B just simply restate the same issue twice and include disputed facts. So I think that can be consolidated into a single issue and stated neutrally. With regard to the other issue, the phrase "as they are not based on the cost of service rendered," again, that's also a disputed fact. And that issue can be neutrally stated without the inclusion of a disputed fact, simply by, removing it. So that would be Heart of the Valley's request and our concern about the issues as stated.
Okay, so for issue C, you just propose to delete that entirely? Is that what I heard?
No, I think it could be stated as whether Heart of the Valley's rates violate Wisconsin Statute 200.13, parent 3, parent B, and leave it as that.
Okay, all right, great, thanks. Okay, so any responses to that? We can start with the complainant.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Just for number C, we are fine with the change proposed by Heart of the Valley, so we can get that off the plate right away. For A and B, these are two very distinct issues. A relates to the Heart of the Valley's volumetric rate as a whole, as applied to the city of Kaukauna, because Kaukauna has 25% of its flow that does not enter the interceptor at all. And issue B relates specifically to this interceptor improvement project that is also at issue in the complaint, and relates more broadly to how those costs are based upon a volumetric rate rather than a different type of rate. So we do object to changing these into a single issue. However, we are willing to talk about how they might be rephrased to address Heart of the Valley's concerns.
Okay, and just so I understand, the 25%, is that a disputed fact?
It is.
It is, okay,
Heart of the Valley does, yes, dispute that.
okay.
So
That's probably all I need to know, that's fine. Okay, so any response from the villages?
The village joins in the Heart of the Valley objections.
Okay, now just so there's no dispute, I guess, so the application of these rates as the issues only how they are applied to Kaukauna. The village isn't asserting any problem with the application of these rates on the village.
That is correct. The village is not objecting as to the village for the rates method used.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're still limiting the case to the application to Kaukauna. Okay. All right, now I'm assuming that now if we were to if the commission were to find a violation and then readjust rates, they would be uniform rates. Would be my presumption here, but I guess I can't speak for that completely, but I would assume that's how this whole system works. So what I'm saying is I think even though village is not asserting a violation, if the rates change, I don't know if the commission would only be adjusting rates for Kaukauna. That's something we may need to look into. So just throwing it out there. I don't know. But it just came to mind now that I see that the village is not disputing that. Go ahead, Lori. I see you're muted.
I think one of the issues here when you talked about uniform rates, in our view, there are two different services being provided by Heart of the Valley.
Mm-hmm.
One is the treatment service, and that is not at issue in this case. The other part has to do, in our view, with the transmission service. And we think that the transmission service should be based on usage and that the usage by the different parties are are different. So I just want to respond to your uniformity issue. You know, the treatment part is not at issue in this case. But our concern is really with the transmission service that's being provided.
Okay, so do the other parties agree with that, that description?
I agree with that's what's in dispute.
Okay, and so okay, so the only talking about transmission. Okay, so I would suggest we make that clear in the issue. So we'll need to think about that when we do our rewording. Commission staff, any opinions to give us?
I don't know so much that the commission necessarily has a true dog in the fight of the issues here, simply because this is a complaint-led docket. And that's sort of, I think, where we're at with how these issues appeared on the notice is historically when we have complaint-led dockets such as this, the issues themselves are coming from the complaint itself, which caused the docket to be opened. If there's no issue with the parties on issue C, I think that that's fine. I'd note that I think it mirrors the statutory language, but you know, if there's no dispute, there's no dispute. As to the other two, I'm not sure if removing the particular wording as it's found in the complaint itself doesn't broaden the scope of these issues. But I don't know that there is sort of a material issue there in general if the parties can agree on some new wording to make them maybe more acceptable. But I think that these are relatively narrow to the particular issues brought up in the complaint. So that being said, I don't know, maybe we discuss more acceptable rewording from there.
Okay. Any responses?
Your
I'm
Honor,
certainly happy to discuss more acceptable wording. You know, it's just and I can appreciate the comment that this is a complaint-driven docket. That being said, when we have a document coming out stating the issues from the PSC, it strikes me as unusual and unnecessary to include specifically disputed facts in the statement of the issues. I think that sort of tilts the balance and is suggestive of an ultimate outcome, and that's concerning for Heart of the Valley.
Okay.
Your Honor, we might have some suggested language that would be more neutral on its face.
Okay.
So for issue, I'm sorry.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we go off the record? I'll give you guys 10 minutes to discuss, and then we'll get back on and we can see what you got.
All right, thank you.
Okay, great. So we're off the record. I'm gonna step away, but I'll leave you all connected and we'll be just waiting. So around let's see, 10:25, we'll reconvene and take it from there. Okay. Oh, well, we'll have a little bit of a problem with the live stream. So what we're gonna have you do is go into a breakout room. Sorry about that. That's a technical glitch here. Well, it's not a glitch. It's just how it works. So let's see. Breakout room shouldn't be hard to do. Put you all in the breakout room, and then the live stream won't be streaming your discussion. So probably all appreciate that. So you'll see this. Been invited, and you go ahead. I'm not sure who Kent is.
I popped out of the breakout room. I don't think I need to be in there.
No, that's okay. So you went in and then came back out?
Yeah, because I thought for some reason, and I'm like, no, he might have done that by mistake. So,
Well, it just puts everyone in. So
oh,
I'm
okay.
not sure how it works because I've never I'm never on that side of it. So it just put you in there automatically. So,
Yeah. And
okay.
then it asked, well, I had to confirm that I
You had
wanted
to
to be in, and then I
confirm,
had to
okay.
confirm that I wanted to be out. So,
Okay, there are unfortunately are two people we didn't identify here. So hopefully they are not probably no, I'll just leave them there. It's fine.
okay.
Hey, Mike, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this is Steve.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to be in the breakout room, right?
I wouldn't I'd say you should be. I mean, you don't have to be, but you might want to
Oh,
hear.
okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
wouldn't see
okay,
that.
good.
That's not a problem at all. So not from my end. So if you'd like to, it'd probably be worth it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Can you do that on your own?
I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I see it.
It
Breakout
says you're
room.
not
Okay.
joined, but you should be able to
Yeah.
join. Okay, thanks. So strange. I'm just gonna check the room before we bring them in.
Okay.
If they need more time.